Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Steffi panics over Luna's psychiatric facility transfer path to freedom. The bold and the beautiful B&V. Spoilers reveal that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McKinswood, has had a lot on her plate at Forrester Creations lately, so she's managed to keep her mind off the chaos of the past for the most part. B&B fans will recall how Steffi got in the way of Luna Nozawa's, Lisa Yamada, grand plans and wound up locked in a cage. Steffi nearly lost her life since Luna planned to just leave her held captive when the apartment building was demolished. The good news is John Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, showed up in time to save Steffi from a grim fate. The bad news is that the threat may not be gone for good. There's been some talk on screen about Luna hopefully getting the help she needs. Luna confessed and landed in a jail cell, but could she ultimately be transferred to a psychiatric facility for a true path to rehabilitation and freedom? We should mention that Luna will write a moving letter to Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, and no doubt leave him with some mixed emotions. Part of Bill will always have a soft spot for Luna despite all the turmoil she unleashed, but he certainly won't want her to hurt anyone else. Luna will make an appearance in the November 8 episode along with Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, who'll give her daughter updates on something important. It looks like Poppy will have some info that'll turn out to be beneficial to Luna in some way. What if Poppy got Luna a new lawyer? One who feels confident that he or she can get Luna transferred to a psychiatric facility that's far more pleasant to live in. Of course, that could also bring the opportunity for Luna to be rehabilitated and eventually released. Luna's doctors could decide she's no longer a threat to society down the road and let her out despite her scary crimes of the past. We can't forget that Luna is to blame for Tom Starr, Clint Howard, and Paul Hollis Hollis W. Chambers, grim fates, so should she really be put back out on the streets? If Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, can be released and build a new life, there's hope for Luna too. That doesn't mean Steffi will support the idea if Luna gets a chance at freedom, so she may panic if she learns it's a possibility. Our B&B predictions hint that this may not be the last we see of Luna, so stay tuned to see what the future holds for this troubled character. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Luna could become a free woman somewhere down the line. Steffi Forrester had always been a woman of fierce determination, resilience, and a keen instinct for survival. But today, the boldness that usually shone in her eyes was clouded with a deep, gnawing anxiety. It was not just any day at Forrester Creations. It was the day she dreaded since she first learned the truth about Luna Spencer. The news had come to her in a whispered warning from her brother Thomas. Luna, the mysterious newcomer to Los Angeles with an aura of charm and a tragic past, had been slated for an involuntary transfer to a psychiatric facility. The details of her file were murky at best, with hints of a troubled history that only seemed to deepen with every uncovered secret. What was supposed to be a fresh start in the City of Angels had turned into a desperate bid for freedom that now teetered on the brink of collapse. As the morning sun filtered through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Forrester Creations, Steffi's mind raced. The rhythmic hum of sewing machines and the sound of fabric being cut were muted under the weight of her thoughts. She knew she had to act before it was too late. If Luna was taken away, the truths hidden beneath layers of deceit would be buried forever, and those truths were essential, not just for Luna's sake, but for Steffi's own family. Steffi pulled out her phone and dialed a number she had memorized but hoped she'd never need. The phone rang twice before a voice, smooth but firm, answered on the other end. "Finn, I need your help. It's urgent." John Finnegan, Steffi's husband and a compassionate doctor, knew better than to question the urgency in her voice. In their years together, he'd learned that when Steffi called like this, it was time to listen. "What's going on?" he asked, already stepping into the hospital's break room to grab his coat. "It's Luna. They're transferring her to a psychiatric facility, and we need to stop it. There's more to this than anyone knows, and I have a feeling that if she's taken away, we'll never uncover the full story," Steffi explained, her words quick and clipped with worry. Finn sighed. The medical ethics involved in interfering with a psychiatric case were tricky, but he trusted Steffi's intuition. "Okay, I'll see what I can find out from this end, but we need to tread carefully." Hanging up, Steffi felt a rush of adrenaline mixed with fear. She turned to see Thomas approaching, his face a mirror of her concern. "Steffi, we have to go. I overheard that they're coming for her by noon." Noon? Less than 2 hours to dismantle an elaborate plan that had been set in motion by powerful players, ones who would stop at nothing to keep Luna's past a secret. Steffi grabbed her purse, nodded at Thomas, and together they sped through the halls toward the exit. The hushed confession. Luna was already in her assigned suite at Forrester's guest quarters, sitting on the edge of a plush chair with her hands clasped tightly in her lap. Her usually warm brown eyes were rimmed with red, shadows of sleepless nights reflected in their depths. She had come to trust Steffi and Thomas more than she dared to admit. But now, alone, she felt the raw terror of losing herself to an institution she once fled. A knock on the door made her flinch, but it was Steffi and Thomas who stepped in, their expressions grave but determined. "Luna, we don't have much time," Steffi began, her voice steady despite the thundering in her chest. "They're moving you soon, and once they do, it'll be almost impossible to get you out. We need to know what we're really up against." Luna swallowed hard, the room closing in on her. The memories of her past, the fractured glimpses of a childhood filled with whispers and locked doors, surged forward, each one more haunting than the last. "It's not just a psychiatric facility," she whispered, eyes darting between Steffi and Thomas. "It's a place where powerful secrets go to die. My family, they're behind it." Steffi exchanged a knowing look with Thomas, her suspicion confirmed. This wasn't just about mental health. It was about leverage, power, and the lengths people would go to in order to silence those who knew too much. A plan takes shape. Thomas took a step forward, his brow furrowed with a mix of urgency and empathy. "Luna, whatever it is, we can't let them take you. But you need to trust us and tell us everything." Luna's hands trembled as she recounted the painful truth. Her father had once held a high-ranking position at an elite financial firm that was involved in laundering money for a cartel. When he refused to comply with demands that threatened the lives of his loved ones, Luna had become a pawn. A staged breakdown at 18, orchestrated by powerful enemies, had placed her in a psychiatric ward. Only through the sheer force of will had she escaped, with the promise of never speaking of it again. "They're making it look like I'm unstable so they can send me back," Luna said, tears slipping down her cheeks. "If I go, I'll disappear, just like before." Steffi felt a white-hot anger rise within her. The thought of a young woman being trapped in a web spun by powerful men echoed too closely with the manipulations she'd witnessed in her own family's legacy. She took Luna's hands in hers, the fierce resolve that had made Steffi Forrester a force to be reckoned with surging to the surface. "We won't let that happen," Steffi bowed. "Thomas and I will figure this out. We have resources, and Finn is looking into things from the hospital's side." The race against time. Minutes felt like hours as Thomas worked his connections and Steffi made discreet calls to trusted allies. When Finn called back, his voice carried both urgency and hope. There's a clause in Luna's medical history that requires a court-appointed psychologist to review any transfer decision. It buys us time, but we need to act now. Steffi's heart raced. They had a narrow window to leverage this delay into something bigger. She glanced at Luna, whose eyes shimmered with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. For the first time in days, there was a glimmer of hope. "Luna, this is your path to freedom," Steffi said, her voice strong and unwavering. "And we're going to make sure you walk it."